You might never be rich, and here's why. There's a lot of unconscious programming that goes around when we're growing up, which shapes our perception and view of money. It also affects how prepared we are to be financially stable into the future, and also affects how much we think about financial independence in general. So in this video, I want to look at some of the biggest and most overlooked ways of how we sabotage our own financial futures, and that from that new understanding, we can take steps necessary to change it. Why we are programmed to be poor. How the school system is designed to keep you poor. They teach you how to become an employee, not wealthy. The education system does not focus on helping you build your financial IQ. Schools are there to prepare you for your future occupation. Or schools are there to prepare you for your next phase of learning in which you find interesting, and then you specialize in that field, and then from that specialization and your qualification afterwards, you will go and work in that occupation. School is not designed to create entrepreneurs, nor do they focus on many of the skills we need for after-school life, such as financial literacy and all its facets, mental health and awareness, time management, problem solving, leadership skills, and so much more. Let's take a look at financial literacy for a second. Schools generally don't teach the importance of saving money or cultivating the habit of saving money instead of spending everything you have the second you get it. They don't teach you how to pay your taxes or how to properly set up a budget plan. They don't teach you the importance of creating an emergency fund or how to invest money and where to invest it in. They don't teach you how to build your credit score or the difference between good and bad debt and how to manage it properly. These are just the basics of financial literacy and are of paramount importance for people to understand, as when they leave their schooling life and enter the real world, they will be faced with these real world problems and concepts. So essentially, school doesn't prepare you for a successful post-education life. It teaches you the foundations to be a good employee. From there, you'll need to figure out those things for yourself if you want to live a successful and fulfilling life. Learning generally stops after formal education. You need to constantly upskill yourself. Once you've finished with your education and you walk across the stage to receive your hard-earned degree, the job hunt begins. Once that lengthy process is finished and you finally have a job at a company, most people tend to stop any other form of formal education. Some companies may offer on a further means of upskilling yourself within the company, and from there, you can start to work yourself up the corporate ladder. Upskilling yourself or investing in yourself is probably one of the best investments that you can make in your life. For example, you can learn a couple new skills over the course of a few months and completely change the trajectory of your career and your future. Learning and growing should not end after your formal education. Your future success depends on it. Higher education is becoming too expensive and leaves many in debt. Formal education is becoming increasingly expensive in many different countries and can lead you into a massive pile of debt by the end of your qualification. Most American students struggle to pay off their student loans straight out of college, and on average it takes about 10 to 20 years for them to fully pay off their student loans. This is dependent on the type of qualification and obviously a few other variables. It's also important to note that some of the graduates' salary is insufficient to cover their loan payments. Looking at this at face value, it might be hard to justify spending that amount of money on an education that might not provide you a job, or a good enough salary to cover the debt that you accumulated in getting that education to get the job that you currently have. This may bring up the question, is there an alternative to formal education that might not put me in such a bad financial state? Luckily, there are plenty of other options, but not one of them is the golden ticket that will solve this problem. Each one of them has an element of risk and requires focus, hard work, and determination, like all other great things in life. For example, some people take the money that they would have spent on a formal education and buy their first house and rent that out. This, however, comes with several risks associated with that. You could invest in several courses and gain valuable skills that don't necessarily require a degree in order for you to find a job. For example, a video editor or an online store owner. The list goes on. You can find many examples online if you look for it. I encourage you to go and look for some of your own alternatives to college. You might be stunned at the vast amount of alternatives there are. However, I urge you to deeply consider this before you make a decision. Make sure that you have all your facts and that you know what you want to do, because this is about your future. So take time and make sure that you've planned thoroughly. So in short, formal education can be great in providing you the tools you need in order to pursue a career that you love. But it can also land you in a massive pile of debt. So be sure that you weigh up your options before you come to a decision. Past beliefs about money. Parenting, experiences, circumstances, and exposure. Our past beliefs about money can shape what we do with our money and the relationship we have with it into the future. So it is good to check what are some of the past beliefs and experiences we have associated with money that have led us to how we feel about money and the relationship we have with it in general. Let us briefly take a look at some of the common negative beliefs about money. Money is the root of all evil. Many of us have heard this misquoted in our childhood to great confusion, because why, if it is the root of all evil, do we work most of our lives to get it? The correct quote is, the love of money is the root of all evil. To be greedy and to be obsessed over making money over all else, making money your idol, that is the problem. For a simple example, say you own a car cleaning business. If your sole focus is to make as much money as possible, your goal will be to clean as many cars as possible in a given day, over providing an exceptional service to your existing customer base. This short-term mindset will have long-term effects on your business and probably lead to its failure. If you shift focus to providing an exceptional service to your existing customer base, you'll be more successful and more wealthy because of it. What were the conversations you and your parents had about money as a kid? It could be something like, money doesn't grow on trees, prices should have gone up, haven't they? That's too expensive, save it for a rainy day, and on and on and on. All these statements have left a lasting impression on your mind about money and how you perceive it. You may start to look at money the same way and repeating the same phrases and statements your parents said without you even noticing. And what you say, you believe about money as well. Therefore, you will also feel in lack and that money is completely out of your control. Let's quickly deconstruct some of those beliefs that you have that might be holding you back. I'll save when I make more money. The truth is, if you cannot cultivate the habit of saving money now, it's unlikely that you'll do so in the future. And this is due to a phenomenon called lifestyle creep. When you make more money, your level of lifestyle will rise with your new income, and soon you will be back to saying the same statement, waiting for a new raise or something else to give you more money. Money corrupts people. Money is a multiplier of who you are inside. Yes, there may be more opportunities available to you to be corrupted because you have more money and more opportunities at your disposal. However, that does not necessarily mean that you will be corrupted. Just like the situation doesn't create the hero, money doesn't corrupt a person. It simply reveals who they are in the moment. In order to move on and form better beliefs about money, we first need to address the old negative beliefs and where they came from. After that, we can make the decision to replace them with better beliefs that will aid us in becoming more financially responsible and literate people. Beliefs like, money provides me with more options. It can help me to free up time to work on my passions. It can help me to provide for myself, my family, and others as well, etc. Start to come up with your own new beliefs about money and change the habits that you have around money to fit and suit your new beliefs. Consumer culture. Maximalist versus minimalist mindset. Keeping up with the Joneses, having enough, and pegging your desired lifestyle. In today's consumer culture, we are constantly being sold at every turn, telling us that we need the latest and greatest of whatever gadget just dropped. It's easy to justify buying more and more because everyone is doing it. We sometimes buy things because it looks really cool in the store, or we buy things because it's on sale and maybe in the future we'll find a use for it. We generally own more than we need. Part of the reason is it's so much more convenient to just go out and buy something to solve a problem than figuring out how to do without. The other part of that is some of the things we buy is influenced by who it might impress or how it might make us look. Keeping up with the Joneses is a very real phenomenon and it's much more subconscious than we might think. The habit of buying things we don't really need for whatever reason we do it is a big problem when it comes to finances. We never get the feeling or think that we have enough stuff and that is burning a hole in our finances. In order to combat this, we need to realize what influences us to want to buy things, and slowly start to detach and unplug from those influences. We should take a look around and see what are the things we actually use that we went out and bought. We need to become more minimalistic in our buying and what we decide to purchase and own. How to change our programming. So that brings us to the question, how do we change our programming? Now that we are aware of some of the issues that, if not addressed, will keep us poor into the future, we can take steps to change it. From making the right choice with higher education and continuous learning in order to make us more valuable to the economy and the marketplace, while not getting massively in debt in the process, to changing our beliefs about money and the story we tell ourselves about it, to making sure that we are not spending money on things we don't need. Spending wisely, investing in ourselves, and helping to upgrade our financial IQ. Some great books that I'd recommend for people just getting started are any of the books written by Robert Kiyosaki. He is best known for his book Rich Dad Poor Dad, The Psychology of Money by Morgan Housel, and I Will Teach You to Be Rich by Ramit Sethi. There are many others, but those are a good basis to start from. I hope this video was helpful to you. If it was, please leave a like and a comment below to tell me what exactly stood out for you in this video. If this video did give you any value, please consider sharing or subscribing so that hopefully more people can see this video and hopefully it helps them out too. Until next time guys, bye bye.